Until it took her baby. Imagine carrying your baby for 9 months, preparing the nursery, choosing a name, feeling every tiny kick, believing everything is going well. Then one day, the movements stop. No warning, no severe pain, no obvious bleeding, just silence. When doctors finally discovered what had happened, they uncovered a hidden disease the mother never knew she had. A disease that silently affected both her and her unborn baby. This is the heartbreaking story of undiagnosed gestational diabetes. The mother was only 23 years old. She was generally healthy. She had no known history of diabetes. Her pregnancy appeared to be progressing normally. She had no obvious symptoms suggesting dangerously high blood sugar. Everything seemed fine, until one terrifying day. She realized she hadn't felt her baby move for nearly 24 hours. Every expectant mother knows those tiny kicks become part of daily life. When they suddenly disappear, it's a warning that should never be ignored. She rushed to the hospital, but the news waiting for her was devastating. Her baby had already died before birth. Doctors examined the baby during delivery. One thing immediately caught their attention. The umbilical cord, the baby's lifeline, was tightly wrapped around the baby's neck. Many people believe this alone always causes stillbirth. But the doctors weren't convinced. Something else didn't seem right. The baby looked unusually large. There were unusual facial features, and several findings simply didn't match what they would normally expect. The mystery had only just begun. Doctors decided to perform an autopsy. An autopsy is a detailed medical examination performed after death to determine exactly what happened. Think of it as medicine's final investigation. Sometimes, it answers questions that no scan or blood test could answer while a person was alive. As pathologists carefully examined the baby's organs, they began uncovering clues. Each clue pointed toward one hidden disease. The baby's weight shocked everyone. She weighed over 4.5 kilograms. For a newborn, that's unusually large. Doctors call this macrosomia. Let's simplify it. Macro means large. Somia refers to the body. Macrosomia simply means an abnormally large baby. Why does this happen? When a mother's blood sugar stays too high during pregnancy, extra sugar crosses the placenta and reaches the baby. The baby's pancreas responds by producing large amounts of insulin. Insulin acts like a growth hormone. As a result, the baby grows much larger than expected. But doctors hadn't reached the biggest discovery yet. They examined the baby's liver. It was filled with fat. Doctors call this macrovesicular steatosis. That sounds intimidating. Let's make it simple. Macro means large. Vesicular means bubble-like spaces. Steatosis means fat buildup. In plain English, large droplets of fat had accumulated inside the liver cells. Imagine pouring cooking oil into a sponge. Over time, the sponge becomes saturated. That's similar to what excessive fat can do inside the liver. Healthy liver cells gradually become packed with fat instead of functioning normally. This finding suggested the baby had been exposed to high blood sugar for a long time before birth. Then doctors turned their attention to another organ, the pancreas. What exactly is the pancreas? It's a small organ behind the stomach that produces insulin, the hormone responsible for helping sugar move from the bloodstream into the body's cells for energy. Inside the pancreas are tiny groups of cells called the islets of Langerhans. Let's simplify that. Imagine the pancreas as a factory. The islets of Langerhans are the workers inside that factory. Their main job is making insulin. When doctors looked under the microscope, they noticed those workers had multiplied. Doctors call this hyperplasia. Hyper means excessive. Plasia means growth. In simple words, there were far more insulin-producing cells than normal. Why? Because the baby's body had been working overtime to cope with the mother's high blood sugar. But the surprises didn't stop there. The pancreas also contained amyloid deposits. Doctors call this amyloidosis. Amyloid is an abnormal protein that can build up inside tissues. Imagine tiny bits of wax slowly clogging a machine. At first, The machine still works. But eventually, those deposits interfere with normal function. Finding amyloid inside a baby's pancreas was a sign that the baby's insulin-producing cells had been under enormous stress. At this point, the doctors were beginning to understand what had happened. But one question remained. If the mother never knew she had diabetes, how could it have caused so much damage? The answer would shock everyone. The answer was hidden in a condition millions of women have heard about. But many don't fully understand. Gestational diabetes. Let's break that down. Gestational simply means during pregnancy. Diabetes is a condition where the body cannot properly control blood sugar levels. Together, gestational diabetes is high blood sugar that first develops during pregnancy. Here's the frightening part. Many women with gestational diabetes feel completely normal. No pain, no fever, no obvious warning signs. That's why doctors don't wait for symptoms. Instead, they recommend routine screening during pregnancy, because sometimes the only sign of gestational diabetes is the damage it's quietly causing inside the womb. After the miscarriage, doctors checked the mother's blood sugar. It was 17 millimoles per liter. For comparison, a normal random blood sugar is usually much lower. Even without diabetes medication, her blood sugar remained elevated over the following days. This strongly suggested she had undiagnosed gestational diabetes during pregnancy. The autopsy continued. Doctors examined the baby's adrenal glands. What are those? Think of them as two tiny hormone factories sitting on top of each kidney. They produce hormones that help control blood pressure, stress response, and salt balance. One layer of the adrenal gland is called the zona glomerulosa. That sounds complicated. Let's simplify it. Zona means layer. Glomerulosa describes its rounded arrangement of cells. This layer produces a hormone called aldosterone. Aldosterone tells the kidneys how much salt and water to keep. More salt means more water. More water can increase blood pressure. Doctors found this layer had become enlarged. They call this hyperplasia, meaning there were more cells than normal. It suggested the unborn baby may have been experiencing high blood pressure even before birth. The kidneys revealed another clue. One tiny filtering unit had become hardened. Doctors call this diabetic microangiopathy. Let's simplify that. Micro means small. Angio means blood vessel. Pathy means disease. In simple words, high blood sugar had already begun damaging the baby's tiny blood vessels. Imagine running thick, sugary syrup through delicate water pipes every day. Over time, those pipes begin to wear out. That's similar to what uncontrolled diabetes can do throughout the body. Now, remember the umbilical cord wrapped around the baby's neck? Many people would immediately assume that caused the tragedy. But the doctors reached a different conclusion. The cord certainly contributed. However, the baby's organs already showed clear evidence of prolonged exposure to uncontrolled maternal diabetes. The final diagnosis was diabetic fetopathy, complicated by umbilical cord compression, leading to intrauterine asphyxia. Let's break down those last terms. Diabetic fetopathy simply means damage to an unborn baby caused by diabetes during pregnancy. Feto refers to the fetus. Pathy means disease or damage. Intrauterine means inside the uterus. Asphyxia means not getting enough oxygen. So, intrauterine asphyxia means the baby was deprived of oxygen while still inside the womb. Before we continue, if you're learning something new from this real medical case, please subscribe to Health Casefile. Every week, we simplify complex medical stories into easy-to-understand lessons that could one day help save a life. Now, back to the story. Could this tragedy have been prevented? In many cases, yes. Not every pregnancy complication can be avoided. But gestational diabetes can often be detected early through routine antenatal care and blood sugar screening. Early diagnosis allows doctors to recommend healthy eating, regular physical activity that is safe during pregnancy, blood sugar monitoring, medication or insulin if needed, and closer monitoring of both mother and baby. These simple steps dramatically reduce the risk of serious complications. Who is more likely to develop gestational diabetes? Women who are overweight or obese, women over the age of 25 or 35, depending on the guideline used, those with a family history of diabetes, women who had gestational diabetes in a previous pregnancy, women who previously delivered a very large baby, and women with conditions such as polycystic ovary syndrome, also known as PCOS. But remember, it can also happen to women with no obvious risk factors. That's exactly why routine screening is so important. What symptoms should pregnant women never ignore? Although gestational diabetes often causes no symptoms, seek medical attention if you notice extreme thirst, frequent urination beyond what's expected in pregnancy, unusual tiredness, blurred vision, repeated infections, or reduced fetal movements. And never skip your scheduled antenatal appointments. Those visits aren't just routine. They are opportunities to detect hidden problems before they become life-threatening. This heartbreaking case teaches us a powerful lesson. The mother never knew she had diabetes. She wasn't careless. She didn't ignore obvious symptoms. The disease remained hidden. Yet its effects were silently changing the baby's body long before anyone realized something was wrong. That is why modern prenatal care matters. Not because every pregnancy is high risk, but because some dangerous conditions are completely silent. If today's story taught you something new, share it with someone you love. It might encourage an expectant mother to attend her next antenatal visit. Or remind a family member not to ignore routine pregnancy screening. Sometimes, one conversation, one blood test, or one early diagnosis can save 2 lives. Thank you for watching Health Casefile. Every symptom tells a story. Every disease leaves clues. And every medical mystery reminds us that knowledge has the power to save lives. We'll see you in the next case. Disclaimer. This video is based on a published medical case report and is intended for educational and health awareness purposes only. It should not be used as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional for personalized medical care, especially during pregnancy.